I really hope those last shortcuts worked out well for you. In this lesson, we're going to learn a couple more shortcuts. First one is the angle side angle, and this is basically what it says. So we're going to start out again with having two triangles, trying to decide if they're congruent. Don't want to do all the work to match up everything, so maybe I can just do an angle with another match. And a side, let's take this side for example. And then we go to the next angle over, and these are match. This is what an angle side angle kind of shortcut usually looks like. And we abbreviate that ASA for angle side angle. And notice something again though. The side, that side right there is included. That's the side between those angles. The included side. So this shortcut actually does work. So if we can prove the angle, side, and angle are congruent for each triangle, we've got congruent triangles. Let me show you a demo on that. I've got a couple angles here, but let me start with my side. Now this is going to be the included side, and I'll just pull this long one out. This is the side that's included, so that means I'm going to build the angles on either end of that side. So let me put one here and just kind of build that off. Yeah, turn that a little bit. And then my other angle is going to be over on the other side of this segment. So there's my other angle. Okay, now take a look at it. Is the side between the two angles? It runs from one angle over to the other. It is. So this is an angle side angle opportunity. Okay, can I make a choice about the rest of this triangle, or is it already determined for me? Do I only have one way to go? Well, I do have to follow the side of this angle here, so I just want to continue that up and extend that out, and I have to follow this side as well. Well, how many choices do I have for where those meet to make my third point in my triangle? Looks like I've got one option right there. So this triangle is determined for me just by the angle and the other angle and the side that runs between them. So that's how this shortcut works. How about angle, angle, side? Let me clear some room. Get rid of all of you. Yeah, I'll just grab the eraser. Okay. So let's look at this angle, angle side opportunity. So again, we're going to be showing these two triangles are matching. Okay, so I've got two angles this time, and there's my first angle pair, and then I've got a second angle pair that matches, and I've got a side. This time the side's not in between them. It's on the outside. That's why we put it on the outside. So this is the AAS, or angle, angle, side shortcut. So maybe it's this side right here, not the one running between them. Is this going to work? Well, guys, this is actually a theorem. All these others have been postulates that we just kind of believe are true, but check this out. Let's kind of reason through this. If you knew the measure of these two angles, I'm just going to make up some easy numbers. Maybe this is a 30-degree measure, and this is a 25-degree measure. And this, of course, matches over here, so we've got 30 degrees and we've got 25 degrees. Let me ask you this question. What can you tell me about this third angle right here? Is that third angle going to have a specific measurement, or can we just make up some number like I did these other two? Well, of course, what's our total in a triangle? We have to have 180 degrees. So if we take 30 and 25, we're looking at 55 degrees. We got 180 total. Do you guys have a choice for how big that last angle is? You don't have any choice. You have to just figure it out from subtracting that. So that's going to be what, 125 degrees. We don't get to pick that. It's not to scale, obviously. But the important thing is, does this angle have to match this one? Is that a guaranteed? We have another angle, a third angle pair. If we've got two, do we have three? Of course we do. We didn't get to decide that. So because this third angle is a match, let me add it in there. The third angle is a match, then that means that I'm just back to my old one over here, to angle, side, angle. I got two angles and the side between them. So angle, angle, side is also going to work just like angle, side, angle did. So these are congruent triangles. That gives us another shortcut, which is awesome. All right, so now that we're fired up, let's look at the difference, though, between using angle, side, angle, and angle, angle, side. And the key is, where does the side land in the picture? So let's clarify this. If you're going to do angle, side, angle, then you need two triangles, and you need to make sure that side is between those angles. So you've got your two angles. Let me put them here and here. You got your two angles, matching your two angles in your other triangle. Where's the side between those two angles? There's only one choice. It's right here. These are the things you would need to have to do angle, side, angle. And then the difference over here for angle, angle, side, same two triangles. These are also going to be congruent. We're still going to have two angles with a match. Let me double mark that. two angles. There's one set. Here's my second set. So I got two angles, but the side is not between the angles. It's either this side or it's down here at this side. So let me put it right here. It could be that side matches this one. This is an angle side. That is not between, or we say it's not included between those two sides. It's not the included side. Okay, what about angle side? In the last video I gave you two shortcuts that work and one that didn't. How about angle side? Well, this is one that does not work. Here's a picture of it. I kind of pre-drew it because it's a little tricky to come up with a counterexample. So if you look at this, and I'm going to put in my tick marks, I've got this side that's 2.5 centimeters long, and it's got a match right over here. You want to sketch this on your notes probably. So this 2.5 centimeters matches this one. The 3 centimeters, that's a match to this 3 centimeters. And then I've got my angle, 40 degrees matching the 40 degrees here. Well, if you look at this, do these triangles even look congruent? There's no way these triangles are congruent. Look at this. This angle is like obtuse, and its matching angle over here, this is acute. So these are not congruent. Angle side sometimes will work and give you congruent triangles, but it's not a guarantee. Here's a counterexample. So we're not ever going to use as a shortcut the angle side shortcut. In fact, oh my gosh, we don't cuss in geometry, so that's a way to remember it. There is no ASS in geometry. Okay, so here's a chance to practice. Let's see how we do. What shortcut can we use to prove these triangles are congruent, if we can? So let me label what we know. We've got a side match, and there's its match. We've got an angle right here, and here's its match. And we've got another angle right here, and there's its match. So we got two angles in one side, and that is enough to prove these are congruent. Which shortcut are we looking at? Well, if you notice where the side is, it's not the side between the angles, it's on the outside of those angles. So I'm going to list my angles, my two angles, and then my side is outside of those. This is AAS, angle, side. These are congruent triangles. Okay, this next one, let's do the same labeling. We've got a side, matches here. We've got an angle right here, and I see its match there, and then our third angle is over here. There's its match. So I've got two angles and a side. This time, you notice the side is the one that connects those angles. It's between or included. So we write our answer this way. Angle, then side, then angle. The side is trapped between those angles. These are congruent by ASA. Okay, when we go to this example, I'm looking at a side. There's its match. I'm looking at an angle. Matches there. And don't see anything else except always on the lookout for these vertical angles. Let's add that information to the picture. Vertical angles are always congruent. So that gives me another little bit of information. It gives me an angle. So I'm looking at two angles and a side. That's enough. These are congruent. And they're congruent by two angles and one side. Side's not included between the angles. So we're going to put it on the outside. We're going to say angle, and then side. Hey. First thing I see, if we look at this next one, did you guys see this shared side right here? Before you do anything else, go ahead and mark that as a match to itself. All right, let's see what else we have. So that's a side, and then these right angles are a match. Let's put angle here. And then I've got another angle match right there. Okay, two angles, one side. Let's see, is the side included between the angles? It is not. It's not the side that's right here, so we're going to put it on the outside again. We're going to say angle, side, and these are congruent by angle, side. Okay, here's our next one. I'm looking at angle right here. There's its match. Here's a side, and it's got a twin right there, and here's a side, and it's got a twin right there. So I've got two sides and one angle. That worked in our last lesson. That was side, angle, side. But do you see that this angle is not the included angle? It's two sides and an angle not included in there. So our angle's on the outside. Oh my gosh, I'm not even going to write this. It's ASS. We don't do that in geometry. So these are not congruent. Okay, finally, first thing I see is a shared side. I'm going to just tick mark that automatic. So add that to the picture. And then let's see what we've got. So we've got a side that we just matched. I've got this angle matches right here. I'm going to put angle on that. And this right angle, you know what? It's not marked, but we've seen this before. Can I mark a right angle on the other side of that linear pair? I sure can. So that gives me another angle that I didn't have before. So I've got two angles in this triangle and one side that matches the two angles in the side in the other triangle. The side is between the angles included, so we're going to trap it in between the angles in our statement. So these are congruent by angle, side, angle. All right, we definitely are going to practice this. We're going to be using these in proofs. So do try these, and then we'll practice in class.